Good afternoon, students. Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you? Everybody good? Everybody's okay?
Yes, sir.
Ready to pick up back the work? Ready for the multiple choice paper? Multiple choice exam? Put in some work, a lot of work to do, I have about 600 questions that I want to go through with you. In fact, more than that. I want to show you all the various ways that the multiple choice questions have been set in the past. All right, so we're gonna have those sessions. But today I just want to work through this paper. This is the most recent exam paper, multiple choice. This was the January 2024 multiple choice exam paper, just done the other day. And I just want to let's go through it with you today. But we also have a lot more work to do with other papers. All right, so let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. All right. The first question here says we are to write this number to 3 decimal places. All right, so these are our 3 decimal places. Correct the 3 decimal places. We're using this 6 to correct that, and so that 0 becomes a 1. So this is the answer. Nice and easy. Number 2, what percentage of 40 is 8? So you're going to divide by what comes after the off. So it's 8 out of 40. You want to know what that is as a percent. Multiply that by 100. And so basically just cancel this down your normal way, because you can use a calculator. So you have 0, cancel a 0. And then 4 into this goes 2 times. And then it's 2 times 10 is 20. This is equal to 20. So the answer is 20%. Another way you could set it up is to say what percent, what over 100 times 40 is equal to 8. That's another way to say it. What over 100, what percent of 40 is 8? That's going to give you the same answer if you transpose. When you divide by the 40 and then multiply up the 100, you're going to get the same answer. That's another way to express it. All right, in any case, it's 20%. Next part wants us to write this thing in standard form. So, firstly, this is in the 200s, in the hundreds. You know it's going to be a 10 squared value. If it is in the thousands, if a value is in the thousands, it's going to be to the 10 cube value and so on. You can know, you know. All right, if it's in it, let me just leave it at that. So we want to get the decimal point right here. In standard form, the decimal point should come just after one non-zero digit. All right, so 1 decimal point right here. So to do that, we have to divide by 10 squared. We have to divide the number by 10 squared. We move the decimal point 2 places to the left. And then to balance that division, we have to now multiply by 10 squared back. So you divide by 10 squared to move the decimal point 2 places back. To put it where you want, and you have to multiply the result by 10 squared. And so it will become 2.0806 times 10 squared. We could know that is a 10 squared number because this is in the hundreds. So the answer is right here. Next question. What is the least number of apples that can be shared equally among 6, 10, or 15 persons? It has to be the lowest multiple. The lowest common multiple, 6, 10, and 15. The lowest multiple. So this is the largest one. If we take the multiples of it, the first one is going to be 30. Well, 15 is a multiple, of course. So it's 15 is the first one. And then 30. But this now is a multiple of these. And so the lowest common multiple is 30. That's how we to do it. Let's use the largest one. Find what the multiples are. And the first multiple, that is a multiple of these as well, is the lowest common multiple. So the answer is 30. That is it. Moving right along. It says $250 is shared in the ratio 2 to 7. So the $250 is broken up into 7 parts, 2 parts and 5 parts, 7 parts. And it says the larger share is 5 out of the 7. So the larger share is 5 out of the 7 parts multiplied by 350. That is a calculation. So we can go 7 into this one time. Let's use a blue for that. So make the distinction. So we're going to go 7 into this one time. And 7 into 35 was 5 times. And then 5 times 50 is 250. So that becomes $250 right here. That's one way to do it. But that's all right. $250. Multiple ways to do this thing. Number 6. Number 6 says 40%. There are 40 students in a class, 40 students in a class. Girls make up 60% of the class. So girls is 60% of the class. Then it says 20% of the girls wear glasses. 25%. So 25% of these girls who are themselves 60% of the students wear glasses. The question is, how many girls wear glasses? All right, let's put it this way. How many girls wear glasses? 20%, not 20. I keep saying 20. 25%. 25% of the girls. That's what we want. Those are the ones who wear glasses. But who are the girls? The girls are 40%, are 60%. Wow. The girls are 60% of the students. And so we can extend this and say, okay, we therefore want 25% times, and the girls represent 60% of the students. So these are your girls. This is the number of girls. All right, so the calculation is going to become 25 over 100, that is 25%, times 60 over 100, that's at 60%, times the 40 students that we have, 40 students, times 40. And basically, that's the calculation you're doing. You just need to break this down or cancel it down. So firstly, I can say 25 into 100 is 4 times. And then 10 into this goes 1 time with that. And 10 into this goes 1 time with that. And then this 4 goes into this 4. And so all I'm left with is this 6. So the answer is 6. If you can sit down. All right. So that is that. Next part says, if the universe has, by the way, so we're going to another section now. So I've started the set section. So the paper is broken down into sections. So these are like some number operations in the first part, percentages and so on. Now we're going to get a series of sets. All right. And we're going to see the section. But so far, so good with that first 6 questions. But good so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Good. And this part now says, this is a universal set, right? And it says H are the values 3, 4, and 6. And I want us to tell them H prime. So H prime would be the values that are not yet selected but are in that set anyway. All right. So let's mark down these first. So we have a 3, 4, and a 6. Those are the ones in H. So H prime are the others. So H prime is going to be the others. The 1, the 2, and the 5. That is H prime. 1, 2, 5. That's right here. All the ones that are not in H. All right. Good. Next question says, Which of the following statements describe the integers from -3 to 6? So you're including them. It did not say between. If it had said between, then you could not include them. But it said from, meaning you're including them. So you have to include the -3. Then you have to include the 6. So looking for which one of these inequalities represent that. Z means integer. So this statement here means X is a member of integer. Z is a symbol for integer, set of integers. All right. So looking at it, you're including both. So the equal must be on this. So this one out of it already because there's no equal there. This one is out of it because these unequal signs are turned the wrong way. Because this, if you read this way, for example, this is saying X is less than 6. No, X is greater than 6. And the X has to be cannot pass 6. Let's put it that way. Cannot pass 6. So this one makes it wrong. If you read this one, this don't have any equal on it, so it couldn't be that one. So the correct answer really is this. This means that X is between, let me take this off. This means that X is between -3 and 6 inclusive. If you read it this way, let me take off this first. If you read it this way, from right to left, it is saying X is greater than -3. And if you read it from the middle this way, then X is less than 6. So that means X is less than, or X is between -3 and 6 inclusive. So this is the answer. Next question says, X and Y are two finite sets such that, so this is a number in X, that's the number of elements in Y, this is the number in the union, and they're asking for the number in the intersection. So a nice formula to remember is this for sets, for finite sets, that the number in the first set, which is X, plus the number in the second set, which is Y, is going to be equal to the number in the union, plus the number in the intersection. This is something good for note. It works for any two finite set. The number in the individual sets, some of the values in the individual sets, must equal to the number in the union plus the number in the intersection. So this total of this side must equal total of that side. So if we put in the values that we know right now, right, that they gave us. So this one is 9. So we're going to put the 9 right here. Plus, now this one is 10. That one is 10. So this side add up to 19. This side must also add up to 19 because the two sides have to be equal. So if this number is what they told us, 15, then this has to be a 4. Because we need 4 more to make it 19. So it has to be a 4. So 4 is the answer right here. Are you good with that? Okay with that? Hello?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right, good. All right, number 10. Number 10 says, that's over here. It says, in the Venn diagram, X represents the set of factors of X. Factors of 12, sorry. And Y are the set of factors of 9. It says shaded region. Shaded region represents a set of factors of what? What is in the shaded region? The shaded region in the intersection. So what we can do is write out these two sets. So X would be the set factors of 12. So those factors of 12, but they start from 1. So there's 1, 2, 3 is a factor of 12, 4 is a factor of 12, 6 is a factor of 12, and then 12 itself. And if we write down the factors of Y, those gonna be start from 1 again, 1, factors of 9, then 3, and then 9 itself. Those are the factors of 9. And then the shaded region here really represents the intersection. So can make a note of that. So we're looking for the intersection. That is the intersection, which is x intersect y. So we need to work out what x intersect y is down here and see what it is. So x intersect y is going to be what? 1 and 1, 3 and 3. That's about it. That is the set 1 and 3. So it says factors, the intersection, the shady region, represent factors of which of these numbers? These two are factors of 3. So then says this. Because these are factors of 3, 1 and 3. It's a prime number. All right, next question says, which are the following pair is an example of disjoint sets? So disjoint sets are sets that don't have any intersection. All right, like, for example, the set of even numbers and a set of odd numbers. And if you flip a coin and get in a head or a tail, they appear like this in a Venn diagram, two separate sets. No intersection, disjoint. We call them mutually exclusive as well. So looking for these whole numbers and rational numbers, but all whole numbers are rational numbers. For example, 2. 2 is a whole number, but it's also rational because it can be written as 2 over 1. A rational number is a number that can be expressed as a fraction with a whole number on the numerator and a whole number on the denominator. I can say an integer value on the numerator and an integer value on a denominator. That's what a rational number is. So these have an intersection. Then we come to multiples of 5 and multiples of 10. So a number like 50 will be in the intersection of those two. So that one is not it. And then multiples of 3, 2 and multiples of 3, so like 6. 6 will be in the intersection of these two subsets, those two sets. And so the last one is the answer. There's no even number that is also odd. So there's no intersection between set E and set F. Cannot be even and odd at the same time. That's why those are disjoint sets. I could put E right here and F right here. All right, disjoint sets. That is it. Okay, next question. See this question? I've seen this question set with 5 different ways. 5 different ways or more. Same information. They just basically change. It's about cats and dogs. And they basically just change up the information a bit. And they give you a Venn diagram, these Venn diagrams. And depending on the information they give you, this might be the right one, this might be the right one, this might be the right one, or that might be the right one. All right, so we have to be careful. I remember last year, I went through some past papers and this question appeared a number of times. And it came on the exam last year, 2023 June exam as well. And somebody was saying, but sir, the question on the paper, what did was C? I said, no, I told you, you have to be careful to change questions sometimes. So, to change questions, you have to be aware that, when we start our binge session, I'm going to show you maybe 5 different questions asking from the same information, 5 different questions from the same information, and questions that read the same with minor differences. So you cannot go about swatting answers. You have to understand the questions. You have to learn to understand the question, learn to do the questions. So that when they make minor changes on them, you will be able to do it because you understand the question, you understand the solution. You're not just trying to memorize the answers. All right, but let's continue. So this one says 30 students in teacher May's class. They either have a dog or a cat or none at all. all right, or none of the two. So they either have a dog or a cat, or they have none. It says all students who have a cat also have a dog. All students who have a cat also have a dog. You know what this means? This means that we have a subset situation taking place here. One of them is a subset of the other. Right? That alone tells me all students who have a cat also have a dog, but not all students who have a dog have a cat. So let's set it up. So if you have the cat and the dog set, right? Let's say we want to see which one is in which, right? So okay, let's put the dog and the cat here inside. It says all who have a cat, which is in here, all who have a cat also have a dog. Good, because all of them are already within the set. But the fact is that somebody out here who have a dog can do have a cat. That is the correct one, correct way now. It means that C is a subset of D. C is a subset of D. That's what that means. All right. If you are written the other way around and put, let's say you're trying it and you put the cat out here and the dog out here in here. And so, all right, all who have a cat have a dog. But you have to reverse it. You have to say, okay, you can have a dog and do have a cat based on this statement, because it didn't reference a dog, you know. So you can say, okay, all who have a cat must have a dog, also have a dog. But not everybody who have a dog have a cat. So you can have a dog and do have a cat. But that's what this is saying. This is basically, opposite of what that statement says. So this will be wrong for that statement. All right, so I put the right one inside. So it also says the number of values in C for cat is 12, the number in D is 16, and which of the following Venn diagram is correct? And we can use a process of elimination. Let me just go down and show you how we could eliminate. Now the total in right here is 14 to begin with. So the total in C right now is 14. So this already makes it wrong, because they said the total must be 12. That makes it wrong already. So this is already incorrect. And I also said the total in dog is 16, but this has 18 in it. So this is just totally wrong. Remember, it's wrong also because this is telling us that we have a subset situation now. This means that we have a subset situation. If you don't know what it actually is yet, you know, say you have a case where something is inside something. So this means that we have a subset, a full subset situation. One is a subset of the other. All right, and I just showed you how you could figure it out. All right, so that makes it wrong. We're using a process of elimination just in case they change the wording on the question. You will know how to proceed. You will know how to eliminate, right, until you narrow it down to the correct one. All right, so come back here now. This one don't make any sense because this now are disjoint sets. This one is basically saying, this set now is basically saying, anybody who have a dog, none of them, no, there's nobody who have dog and cat. That's what this basically saying now. These are disjoint sets. But that is not what was said in this statement. So that is what is making this one incorrect. All right. So even though the number in here is 16, as they said for the dog up here, and the number in terms of the number of cats is 12, as I said here, let's check another thing. They said the total is 30, right? Total is 30. So this total would be 30, right? But the problem with this is that these are disjoint, and this information is not allowing for disjoint. You have a subset situation. So this is disjoint. That's why it is not correct, because it is disjoint. Disjoint. And we are supposed to have a subset situation. All right, that's what makes it not correct. What about this one? So this one, the total in the dogs is 16, and the total in the cats is 14. And in the union is it 30. So if you add up all of these, this is 16 and 14. It is 30. But again, what makes this one wrong It's the same thing that I said. We must have a subset situation, right? Not just an intersection. One must be a full subset of the other. And that's what is causing this to be wrong. All right. So even though it appears correct, we have a 30 here now. And this looks like it wants to be correct. But it says all in capital letters. Student who have a cat also have a dog. So, you have a full subset situation. This is not a subset situation. That's why it is wrong. This down here is the last one. It's the correct answer. The circle in blue. This one matches the information. You can check it off. First, you have the subset. All over cat, also have a dog. But some people have dog, don't have a cat. Like, for example, the 40 have dog, but they don't have cat. All right. The total in terms of the number who have cats is 12 right here. 12 people have cats. And total number of dogs is the 12 plus 4 right here. Just that these persons don't have any cat. And then now you have 14 out here to make up the 30. So this will add up to 16. And this will be 12, as they have said. And then now, since the total out here is already 16, you need 14 more to make the total of 30. That is why we have the 14 out here. All right, that is the answer for that one. I think I spent a little bit of time on this one because of what happened last year with that student. All right, so let's continue. All right, so I've now just completed the sets questions. I think we are finished with sets. And let's see how many sets questions there were on this paper. Let's see. So sets started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sets questions. 6. So that's the number of sets questions you can expect to get. 6, 7, 8, them kind of number of sets there. So 6 of them on this paper. All right, so this question says, excluding sales tax, how much will be paid when a video game costs $12 is sold for 20% discount? Excluding tax, how much will be saved? That is the key word here now. How much will be saved? How much will be saved? You're saving the discount. How much will be saved when a video which costs $12 is sold at 20%? The amount that will be saved is the 20%. So the answer for this question is the 20%. So you'll be saving 20% of $12, which is $1, $1.20. So you're going to be saving 20 over 100 times $12. That's what you're saving. You're saving the discount. This works now 2.4. 2.4, we have to multiply by 2. All right. Yeah, so we can say 10% is 1.2. 10% is 1.2, and then multiply that by 2, so 2.4. I can just work this out as I have it here. So it will basically be canceling of zeros. This cancels with that. And then we would have 2 times that 12 is 24. 24 divided by 10 is 2.5, 2.4. Anyway, we want to look at it. This is the answer. Next question says, EC $2.50 is equivalent to US $1. Then what is 20 EC? So what I would do in this question is build up from this. Or you can say how many $2.50 is in this number. And that's the number of US. Or you can divide this by that. But you can do it like a ratio. Like a ratio and say, okay, EC to US starts out at 2.50 to 1. And I want this side to reach 20. I want it to reach 20. I can carry it up to 5 first. So I can multiply the ratio by 2. Carry it up to 5 first. Take it in stages. Multiply this by 2, we get 5. That's $5 to $2. Then you want this to reach 20. So you want to reach 20, you're going to multiply by 4. Times it by 4. it's going to reach 20. So this side becomes 20 and this side becomes 8. So when the EC is 20, the US is 8. So the answer is 8 US dollars right here. Next one down here. Oh, by the way, we're going into the consumer arithmetic section now, right? Consumer arithmetic section. This question says, the cash price of a television set is $350. That's the amount for it, cash price, if you buy it with cash. It says, when bought on hire purchase, which is another way, with like a down payment system, a deposit of $35 is required, plus 12 monthly payments of $30 each. How much is saved paying cash? So the amount that is saved paying cash is the difference between the amount for hire purchase and the amount for cash. So we need to work out the amount for hire purchase. So let's work it out here. A hire purchase amount becomes equal. The deposit of $35, and then you're gonna pay $30 12 times. You're gonna pay $30 12 times. So it's 12 times $30. I want to see what it works out to. So this works out to $35 still, plus 12 times 3 is 36. So that's $360. 36 and the 0. That becomes, when you add these two, we get $395. $395. But the cash amount was $350. This is $45 more than it. So you have to pay $45 more. So we can say save in red. Save $395 minus the cash amount of $350. That's $45. So saving 45 right here. Number 16 says, so remember this question. There are some questions on the paper that requires some amount of work. Right? Not every question is you're going to be able to just look at it and get the answer quick. Like there are some questions that requires you to do some calculation and so on, right? And you have, remember, you can't use a calculator. So you're always going to have that. All right? And there are some questions you can look at it and know the answer right away. That's just the nature of the multiple choice paper. So don't be surprised when you see a question kind of wordy and you have to be doing some work to get it. This question says, a company has 20 persons as gardeners and clerks. It says the mean daily wage of all the employees is this. This is the mean of the employees, the mean. What is the mean? The mean is when they sum up the wages of everybody and divide it by 20. They're telling you that mean is this amount. It says if each gardener is paid 26, remember I know they're telling you how much each gardener gets. So the total paid by the gardener is 12 times that right now. All right. Then the daily amount paid by each clerk is what? What is it? So we're gonna basically set up an equation and solve it. You want to know how much the clerks get. So let's set up the equation like this. I'll set up the mathematics like this. So what they basically said is that the mean is 2240. How do we get the mean? The total salary of everybody, which first is a 12 gardeners times $26 each. So that's 12 times $26 plus the 8 clerks. But you don't know how much the 8 clerks get paid. So we're going to use C for clerks, right? C for clerks. So that would then become 8 times C dollars, right? 8 clerks, and they get paid $6. So let's call it the 8C. So C is the amount that they get paid. So we're going to call that 8C. And when you divide that, that's the total pay that they're getting. Without knowing this figure, that would be the total pay if you know this figure. You divide that by the total number of employees, which is 20, which is 12 plus 8 is 20. This will give you the mean. They tell you that it is equal to $22.40. And your aim now is to find the C. Let's put it in a different color. Trying to find C from this. So you see, you have to do a bit of work, right? You have to work it down and transpose and so on to find the C. So it happens. Let's simplify. I'm going to multiply this denominator across here. We can divide it by 2 first. Right? I'm able to divide the numerator and denominator by 2 first. Let me do that in purple. When I divide this by 2, it becomes 10. I have to divide this by 2 up here. I'm going to get 6. And see, I put a 24 right here. It should be 26. Nobody told me. You guys are sleeping or what? You guys online sleeping? Or nobody could tell me that I put a 24. Right. And then I'm going to put 2 into this 8 and get 4. You might ask, why don't divide it again and carry it on further? No, because I like to operate with values like 10. Because when you multiply by 10, you're just adding a 0 or moving a decimal point. I prefer to take this 10 and multiply it over here rather than multiply by a 5. That's why I'm not reducing it any further right now. So I'm going to multiply this over here. And what am I going to end up with? I'm going to end up with 6 times this 26. And I can basically work out 6 times 26 if I want. No, 6 times 26 can work it out like that. And so 6 is 36. And then 6 2 is 12. And 3 make 15. Or you can work it out like this. You can say 6 times 20 plus 6 times 6. That's what 6 times 26 is. You know, if you want to break it down. You can't use a calculator. I've used these strategies. So 6 times the 20 first, and then 6 times the 6. So you take it in parts. This will be 120, and then this will be 36. 36. So when you add them, you get a 156. See me? So this becomes 156. So we can basically put that 156 plus 8C. This is 8C is equal to the 10 times this becomes 224. And then to make C the subject, let me make it smaller. Let me zoom in and make it smaller. Let me zoom in and make it smaller. And I zoom in on it so you can still see it. So to make C the subject down here now, C becomes equal to this figure minus this figure, which is 224 minus 156. It's supposed to be a 4 right here. This 4C, not 8C4. And I divide this by 4. And you can divide down gradually again, or I can subtract this first and then divide by the 4, whichever way. Let's see what we get over here. Remember, you cannot use your calculator. You cannot use a calculator. You can maybe divide it by 2 first and get 112 minus, what is half of this? Half of the 150 is 75, and that becomes 78. All right, is that right? Well, half of the 150 is 75, and then half of the 3 is, half of the 6 is 3, so I get the 78. If you want to do your division, you normally do it 2 into 156 and do all of that. Or sometimes we do it like this, 156 over 2. I'm going to into this goes 7 times, remainder 1, and then 2 into 16 goes 8. That's why I get the 78. So it reduces to that amount over 2. And you can divide again. In the exam, you have to go step by step. So this one you divide in, this one is 112. You divide it, so it becomes 56. All right, this one becomes 56. And this one becomes 35. Half of the 70 is 35. Half of the 80 is 4, so it becomes 39. 39. So we have reduced this to 56 minus 39. And that looks like 17. 17. So it works out that C equals 17. So you all have to practice reducing your numbers, or whatever method you use, whatever method you're comfortable with. You have to do this simple multiplication, division, and so on. Simplify, cancel down and stuff. All right, so it reduces to 17. So far, so good with that? Okay with that one?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, up here now. Number 17 says, a man's annual salary is this amount, 45,000. It says his tax-free allowance is 13,000, means that you're going to subtract this before you start to take any tax. It says he has to pay 20% tax on his taxable income. The tax payable is what? What is the tax? The tax is 20% of the taxable income. The taxable income is 45 minus 13. Right? So the taxable income is 45 minus 30. So the calculation is 20%, 20 over 100, times the taxable income, which is 45,000, minus 13,000. That's the calculation. So it's 20%, or we can call it 210 now, because this year cancel this year. I'm going to leave the 10 on the year for the time being. All right, so I'm going to write 2 over 5. Yeah, 2 over 10, sorry, 2 over 10 times. And then this minus this is what? So it is 32. 32. 32, yes, 32. Write it, 32,000. 10% of 32,000. So that is a 2 times 32 number, 64. This is all the number that 6 and a 4 in it, so it has to be this. Right? It's a 2 times 32 number. 2 times 32 is 64, has to be that one. That's all the number with 6 and 4 in it. But what means that this 10 cancels one of this 0, and then you're really doing now 2 times that. All right, so that is the answer. Next question says, a salesman sells a car for this amount, 10,500. If he is paid commission of 5% on the first 10,000 and 8% on the remainder, then his total commission is what? Okay. So he's paying 5%, he's paying 5%, he's paid 5% on the first 10,000 out of that. He's gonna have $500 left at 8%. So the commission becomes equal to 5 over 100, 5% times 10,000 plus 8%, 8 over 100 after 10,500. Since the 10,000 is already used, 500 is left. So it's 8% times 500. That's what you're calculating. All right, that's what we're calculating. So if we look at it, cancel these down, we're going to get 5 times 100 here. That's 500. So this becomes 500 first. Put back the dollar sign. All right, and then how much is this now? I see 8 times of 5, I'm going to get a 40. It's the only one that has a 40 in it. That must be the answer. And I'm going to get 100 into this was 5 times. I got 8 5s 40. So I'm going to add $40 over here. That is the answer right there, 540. All right, next question says, a man's basic wage for a 40-hour week is $160. He is paid $5 per hour overtime. So this is overtime rate. If he works 6.5 hours overtime in a certain week, then his wage is what? So his wage is going to be the basic pay plus the overtime pay. The basic pay is 160, so we can write that down first, 160. Plus, the overtime pay is 6.5 hours times $5. 6.5 hours times $5. What is 6.5? I can write 6.5 as 6.5 times $5. That's what it is. And I can work this out quickly. So I can work this out quickly. I can multiply this by 2 to make it become 10 and then divide this by 2. Instead of trying to multiply those, I like to work in tens. So see it here? I can multiply this number by 2, make it become 10, and then divide this number by 2. to get some easier numbers to work with because I cannot use my calculator. So it becomes equal to 160 plus. Now this divided by 2 is easy. Okay, you divide it 6 by 2, you get 3. Divide 0.5 by 2, you get 2.5. So that becomes 3.5 times, and this 5 times 2 is $10. 10. And then this just becomes, I'll put 3 times 5, suppose I put 3.25. 3.25. Half of the 6 is 3. Half of the 0.5 is 0.25. That's what it becomes. Easy numbers to work with. And so when I multiply this by the 10, this becomes 32.5. 32.5. That's what it becomes. All right, 32.5 So I'm adding this and this. All right, so I get 192.5 and I add those. So you have to find ways to work down do your calculations quickly without a calculator. You can't use a calculator. So I'm not showing you some of those little skills that you can use. This question says, still consumer arithmetic, right? It says a calculator which is marked as $120 is sold for cash at a 30% discount. How much change would Susan receive if she pays for the calculator with a $100 bill? All right. Well, first thing you have to realize is that the 30% is the discount. So the 30% is the discount, then you're actually paying. You're paying, and you're supposed to pay. You're supposed to pay to pay. You're supposed to pay 70% of the $120. So you need to know how much that is, and you're gonna subtract that from the $100 bill. The number, the values of consequence here right now is this and this, 7 and 12. 7 and 12 is what? 7 times 12 is what? 84. 84. 7 times 12. Yeah, 84. So this is some 84 number. So it like is $84 she's gonna spend. Supposed to pay. Right? But she give him $100 bill. So the change becomes $100 minus the $84. $84. That is $16, which is right here. So sometimes you can do the mathematics here like this. You don't have to work out everything in it. You look at the numbers that are of consequence. These zeros really not really so significant in terms of the digits that you're gonna see, the numerals that you're gonna see. The numerals that you're gonna see is more impacted by the 7 times 12, which is 84. So you're gonna see a 84. What happened with these zeros that they cancel each other? See it here? They cancel each other. This cancel this and this cancel this. But I could just work the 7 and the 4 and look for values that will be useful with 7 and the 4. So, since the period of $800 bill, it must mean that you're getting spending money like in the tens, right? 84. That's what it is. But yeah, it becomes 84. She used to pay 84. You have to work these out. All right, so that's it. So she gets $16 change. More, no, this is not the consumer. This is some algebra now and stuff, right? So how many consumer arithmetic questions were there? Let's see. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, 8. So we had about 6 sets questions, about 8 consumer arithmetic questions. So you see, you have to get comfortable with those guys. 6 and 8, good amount. All right, a good number. This question says, Megan normally saves X dollars each month. All right, but in August, she saved $4 less than twice our usual amount. Remember, the usual amount is x. So she say $4 less than twice usual amount. So it's twice usual amount, which is 2x, and less 4 less than that, minus 4 is the amount that she saved. So we're looking for this down here. Don't put this one in now. You have to notice this is 2 into x minus 4. If you expand this, you're going to get 2x minus 8. This one is wrong. You have to be careful. The answer is this one. That is the one. All right, down here now. Down here says, look, I remember this question, and I've seen papers where they put a square here. So see, that's an m cube, This is a cube right now, This is a cube right here. That's a cube. And I'm telling you, I've seen the same question with the same values here on other exam paper, but they have m squared minus n squared instead, like that. So if you memorize the question, you're gonna get it wrong, especially the answer for this one is also there. So pay attention, guys, and be careful, read carefully. When you start to binge the questions, you'll see it. But I want us to know work this out, right? So this is saying that the star means you're going to take the square root of the first value squared, first value cubed minus the second value squared. We have to work out what is in the bracket first. So this statement here then becomes, put on this 5 star here, so first, 5 star. I want to work out what that one is. So we're going to get 5 star, that's this. And then what would this be? This would be like that. It would be the square root of the first value cubed, which is 5 cubed, minus the second value squared, 2 squared. We need to work out this first so we can start with the 5. So it becomes 5 star. What is this? Now this is 125. Let's write it under there. This is actually 125 minus 4. 125 minus 4 is 121. So it's doing this with 121 right here. Root of 121. That's the square root of 121. Square root of 121 is 11. So we're really doing 5 star 11. And you have to work this out now again with the square root business, right? So this then becomes the square root of 5 cubed minus 11 squared. Work out itself nicely. 5 cubed minus 11 squared. This value is 11, go there. And that comes back to what we had before, square root of 4. So it becomes the square root, because this now, let's look at it right there. This is 125 again, and this is 121. So we're really doing the square root of 121. We're really doing the square root of 4. 121 minus 125 minus 121 is 4. So really doing the square root of 4. Square root of 4, which is equal to 2. So the answer here is this 2. All right, that is it. Next question. Next one gives us this diagram. It's a trapezium. Right, as it says, a trapezium. And it says the trapezium with a height h, this is the height h, has an area of x squared. So the area is x squared. It says the height of the trapezium is expressed in terms of x. Which one of these? So we have to set up what they have said. They have said that the area is x squared. But what would be an expression for the area? Let's do it right here. An expression for the area would be half the sum of the parallel sides, which is this plus that. So it's half of the x minus 4, which is this side, plus this side, which is 2. And you're going to multiply that now by the distance between the parallel side, which is h. And they're telling us that this area is actually x squared. Let me shift this over a bit. Make that like a smaller too. And zoom in. That's what they're basically telling us now. So this is the x squared. That's what we're solving. Now, firstly, this 2 can multiply up over here. And then this is negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. So I'm going to get x minus 2 each. I'm going to take this 2 and multiply it up here. I get 2x squared equals 2x squared. So to make h a subject, I need to divide this under there now. So the h becomes 2x squared divided by x minus 2. So we're looking for that now. 2x squared over x minus 2 is the first one, I know. Yep, first one right there. That's number 23. Next question. Up here. Easy question, but careful. That's a negative and a negative. So it becomes 3, and they're going to expand this with minus. So first, you're going to get minus x, then a minus times this minus 2, it's a positive 2. Then the 3 and the 2 is 5. So it becomes 5 minus x, which is right here. Next one, got it. Let's write it out. This is 5 to the n plus 1. And this is n plus 2. That's what that is. When you multiply numbers with the same base, you add the powers. So this is going to become this product is going to become 5 to the sum of the powers, which is n plus 1. Write that better. N plus 1 plus n plus 2. That becomes a power, which becomes equal to 5 to the power. This is n and n, that's 2n. And that's 1 and 2 is 3 plus 3. That's what it is. Which is this one, 2n plus 3 is a power. All right, nice and easy. Then we'll come to this one. It says, what is y? We're solving for y. So we're solving this equation for y. I'll expand it out first. Expand it out first. Look at that on nice. Hold on. Hold on a second, guys. All right. Expand this side first. I'm going to get 5y minus 10 equals, expand this side. I'm going to get 3y plus 3 fourths is 12. Then this 3y comes over here and subtract and give me 2y equals, this 10 goes over there and add to that 12, give me 22. Divide by 2, I get y equals 11. So this is the answer right here. Next question, 27, gives us these two vectors. It's asking us for p minus 2q. So we're doing this one first, p, which is, this becomes, the p is 37 minus 2 times this. 2 times this. So we're going to write what that 2 times this will be. So 2 times this minus 2 will be minus 4. And 2 times this 5 will be 10. That's what we're working out. So it becomes 3 minus a negative 4. That's 3 plus 4 is 7. And this is the only one with a 7 in this position as the first value. That's the answer. And it confirms because this is 7 minus 10, which is negative 3. But I could have known this answer before calculating the negative 3, and I'll be gone about my business in the exam. All right. So I think we're going into we're going into vectors now. So that was our vectors question. So we just did a couple algebra there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like the paper split up into 6, 6, 6, 6 on average. So we're going into vectors now. And vectors and matrices, I don't know. But this question says the item 28 refers to the following diagram of a parallelogram. So it's a parallelogram. So the opposite sides are equal vectors, in which EF is parallel to HG. That's these two, then parallel. So they're equal vectors. And EH is parallel to FG. That's these two. Those two will have equal vectors as well. Same length, same direction, parallel and same length. It says EF is K, which we can see here, and EH is M, if you can see there. But because a parallelogram, we can actually put down the other vectors. So same vector is over here, that is here, going the same direction. So this vector is K, going this way. And then this vector is coming down. So over here, coming down is the same vector M. And question says, express EG in terms of M and K. So question is, how do we go from E to G? It's pretty obvious. Use a K and come over here as a K, and then use the M and come down to G as a M. So it's K plus M now. K plus M is the answer. But you could also do it, just show some work and say to go from E to G is the same as going from E to F and then going from F to G. So the E to F is K plus the F to G is M. So that's the answer, K plus M. Number 28. So we're coming up to halfway the paper now. And sometimes some of the easier questions are at the back of the paper, you know. Right? So that's how the paper is set up like. So this one says this vector is equal to that vector. And I want us to tell them the value of x and y. So basically then, remember you're going to multiply this and get 5x, and it's going to be equal to 4 times 10. Because this side, if you multiply it with 8 become 5x, you know that 5x is equal to 4 times 10. 4 times 10. That's 40. So the x equals 8. And this is the only answer with the x equals 8 in it. So this must be the answer. That's the only one with that 8 in it for x. And we know it is 8 for sure. Because over here, 5 times 8 is 40. Over here, 4 times 10 is 40. So the answer has to be 8. Do have to work out this, the y. That's the only 8 within there. Next one. This one says, this question refers to that matrix A. It wants us to find the inverse. See, even a multiple choice asks for inverse. Remember, what is inverse? Inverse, e to the minus 1, is 1 over the determinant multiplied by the adjoint. All right. So question is, what is the determinant to put on here? Let's work it out in blue. The determinant is going to be equal to this product over here, which is 2 times 4 minus this product over here, which is 1 times 7, or 7 times 1. This becomes 1. That's 8 minus 7 is 1. So the determinant is 1. What is the adjoint to go here? Let's set it up. The adjoint is equal to, interchange the elements on the first diagonal, switch them around. So we get 4 here, 2 here. Leave these two other elements where they are and change the sign. So this becomes a negative 1. This becomes a negative 7. So basically now, this becomes the answer now. Remember the determinant is 1. So you put 1 here. You're just going to end up with a 1 outside here. So the determinant is equal to the adjoint. So it's one of them there. The last one. The last one. This is the last one. So this is the answer. That's it. The adjoint. The matrix becomes the adjoint, but the determinant is 1. All right. So this question now says a speedboat, it took a speedboat. If it took a speedboat 9 hours to travel this distance, what is the speed? Remember, speed is distance over time. And you have them straight. So the distance is 108.0 kilometers, and the time is 1 hour. 1 hour. Even 1 hour, 9 hours. 9 hours. That is the time. 9 hours. So we're just gonna cancel this. 9 into this goes 1 time, and 9 into this goes 12. And you put back the 0. So the answer is 120. Simple as that. All right. Easy stuff. Next question. This one. This question says, this item refers to the following trapezium. It said the perimeter of a trapezium in centimeters. But I noticed that these values are in meters. So that they're all in meters. I want the perimeter. So you see, you basically just need to add up the sides. So since we want it in meters, what we can do, since we want it in centimeters, sorry, what we can do is write these sides in meters from now. Remember, 100 centimeter is equivalent to 1 meter. So these values, to get them into centimeter, we just move decimal point 2 places to the right. So we can add them up. All right, then put this over here. So the side is gonna be, this is gonna be 12 centimeters. Let's see working from here. 12 centimeters. 12 centimeters. This one is gonna be 18 centimeters. 18 centimeters. This one will be 21 centimeters. 21 centimeters. That's gonna be 41 centimeters. 41 centimeters. All we have to do now is add up these. All right, add up those. It's gonna be 92 based on these sizes. All right, based on them, it can be this, it can be that, it can be this. That says 92. If I add it up, this and this are, these three give me 10. 10 and 2 make 12. 12. And then I put 1 up here. I made 12. These add up to 9. Yep, 9. Because this is 5, 4, 9. So get a 9. So then said 92. Easy question right here. 32. Then we'll come to number 33. It says, give us that diagram. give us a sector. It says if the circumference is 15, that's the total distance around it, is 15. Then the length of the minor arc, which is here, that's a minor arc. So obtained by the angle of 120 in centimeters is fraction of the circumference. And what fraction is it? Is the angle out of 360. 120 over 360 times the full circumference, which is 15. And they have it here. See it here, so. So I didn't want to be worked out. Just set up. Number 34. Right here. It says an aircraft leaves at 1600 hours and arrives at B, leaves A at 1600 hours, arrives at B at 1930. Traveling at an average speed of 550 kilometers per hour. All right. It said then from A to B in the same time zone, then the distance traveled is what? So to get the distance, we're going to have to multiply. So then the time of travel, so from here to here is traveling 3.5 hours. Because the 30 minutes here mean half hour. So the time is 3.5 hours. That is traveling for 3.5 hours. And you have the speed. So to get the distance, you have to multiply them. Because it's doing this amount per hour. Every hour is doing this amount. And he traveled for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. So to know the total distance traveled, multiply this by 3.5 hours. 3.5. So it becomes 550 times 3.5. That's what they're working out. I can work it out step by step, because I can say 3 times 500 is 1500 so far. And then 3 times the 50 is another 150, that 150. And then now I've got to half of the 250, the 550, which is half of the 500 first, which is 250. And then half of the 50 is 25. So I'm adding up everything there, so that already, because this right here is 1650. This is 1650. And this right here says 275. So you can pass this answer. This answer must be the last one. Yeah, this last one. If you want to multiply these here and get it, you're going to get the same answer. 1925. If you multiply that right there. But in the exam, can use a calculator. You have to use these ingenious ways of just doing it quickly. All right, so that is that. All right, so 1925 kilometers. All right, next question. So far, so good? But okay so far?
Yes, sir.
All right, remember, I have to work over them, I have to know all of them questions, you know, because a lot of them going to be repeated. Take the opportunity. All right. This question says, it refers to the following diagram. It shows the center of a circle and major and minor sectors. All right, so it says, if the area of the major sector that around here now is the major sector right here. So if inside it says 60 degrees, then around here is 300 degrees. 300 degrees. Because the total angle in the circle is 360. So if you have 60 here, so then you have 300 around this. But they're telling you now that the area is actually 550 of this major sector. So this area is 515 centimeters squared, not 550. Kind of feel sleepy, you know, get tired a little bit. The rest after this. All right. And what is the area of the circle? Now remember, this is just a fraction of the circle. What fraction? 300 over 360. So we're going to set up an equation that says 300 over 360 times the whole area that we're trying to find is equal to 515. That's what we're doing to find the area of the whole circle. So this little fraction here, we can divide this by 60, each of them by 60 now. So divide this by 60, we get 5. Divide this by 60, we get 6. So to find the A now, we need to multiply by 6 and divide another 5. So the A becomes equal to the 515 times 6 over 5. That's what we're trying to find. All right, so the 5 can go into this, because this basically have 515. So 5 into the 500 goes 100, and 5 into the 15 is 3. 5 into 15 is 3, so this is 103 now. This is divided by that is 103. I need a 6 back here. I need a 6 back up here. Why am I making so much mistakes? Yeah. I need a 6 back up here. I just need to multiply 6 times this now. So 6 times the 100 is 600, and 6 times the 3 is 18. 618 is the answer right here. Can't use any calculator, that's why you have to kind of break up the calculation. So if you want to do 6 times 103, you can think of it as 6 times 100 plus 6 times 3. So 6 times 100 is 600. 6 times 3 is 18. So that's 618. But that is the answer though. 618 is the area of the whole circle. Next question says, number 36. Right here says, the volume of the cuboid is 320 cm cube. So they give us the volume of the cuboid. And the height is h. If the length of this square is, the bases are square. So the bases are square. Then it means then that this length is also 8 centimeters. So remember, volume of a uniform object with uniform cross section is the area of the end. I can say the base area times the height gives you the volume. All right, and I tell you that that volume is 320. So we can set up an equation like this. The volume, which is the 8 times the 8 times the height, will be equal to 320. And we're trying to find the height. So I divide by these. So the height becomes 320 over 8 times 8. And in the exam, you might say, why don't I put that at 64? Because I want to cancel down. I don't want to build it up. All right. Because that maybe that the answer for that is 5. 320 divided by 64. Can't be none of these. But let's see. So we can go 8. 8 into this goes 1 time. 8 into this goes 4. Which is 40. So you have 40 right here. So see, 8 into 40 goes 5 times. Based on the numbers, you could see that it is 5. That is it. Number 36, these are all measurement questions. 37. So the area of a triangle is 60 centimeters square and its height is 10. What's the length of the base? Easy. Half base times the height, which is 10. Let's tell you that is 60. Half base times height is 60. So we can say it's 12 and the answer is 12. Because if this is 60, we need this to become 6. For that to become 6, half of what is 6, half of 12. So the b is 12. Anyway, you want to work it out, the b is equal to 12. right? But what you could do is maybe you could maybe do half of this 10 is 5, and then divide it under 5. 60 under 5 is 12. So many ways to do it. The answer is 12 though. The base is 12. Next one says, a square has the same perimeter of a rectangle whose sides are 9 and 15. What is the length of the square? So if it's a square, the perimeter of the square equal the perimeter of the rectangle. Perimeter of the square, we call it x is 4x equals, what's perimeter of the rectangle? 2 times the sum of this and this, of 9 and 15. 2 times 9 and 15. 9 and 15. That's what we're working out. Canceling it down. So the 9 and 15 is 24. And we can just divide by the 4 here. So put it on the here. So it's going to become that the x is 2 times, this becomes 24 divided by this 4 in the here. So it becomes half, but it's a half. Half of 24 is 12. So then says this 12. All right, that is that. That is that. We'll come to this question now. So statistics starts now, guys. Statistics, topic of statistics has begun. All right, so that's how the paper is. Give you a bunch of topics together. So if you know, say a super week, for example, in sets, you can just, but you see, I don't, let me not give you that advice. Because sometimes you skip out questions and you mix up the shading on the paper. So you start shade, for example, number 6 for number 5. Or start shade number 5 for number 6 because you skip out one of them. So you have to be careful. Anyway, this one wants us to answer this question. It says, item 39 and 40 refer to the following frequency distribution, which shows the average mass in a group of children. All right, it says the lower boundary of the median class. The median class. So the median class is a class with the median in it. So we have to determine which class is the median class. The lower limit. These are the lower limits, you know. These. We need to know which one is the median class. So which class has the middle values in it. We have to add up the data. All right, we have to add up and see how much we have data. So we have 29 here. So let's put in a counting column, which is our fx column. So this is your x, this is your f. I'm going to put in a counting, not column, row, counting. I don't want the fx column. I want a cumulative frequency column. Here is a counting column. Cumulative frequency column. I want to add up the frequency up here. So I want a cumulative. It's still a counting column here. Cumulative frequency column, which is a counting column. Yeah, so that's right. Now the fx is your sum column. So the cumulative frequency is your counting column, your counting of the frequency. So we are, after this group, we have 29. So we can see how much we have in our 29 so far. We need to add this now. So we have 29 plus 47. How much is that? That is 76. 76, because this one is giving me 16. And then this gives me 7. So we need 76 right here. So. And then I need to add this 24. That one easy. That becomes 100. This becomes 139. And then we have 11 more, makes 150. So there are 150 people in this data. So the median, since 150, the position of the median, I want to know where the median is, right? Let's put that in blue. So the position of the median, Q2, would be half of the n plus 1 term. So it's going to be half of 150 plus 1. Half of 151. That becomes 75, because half of the 150 is 75. Half of the 1 is a half. 75 and a half. 75 and a half. So the 75.5 term. What does that mean? The 75.5 term means it is the average of the 75th term and the 76th term. You average them. So there's an even number of values in us. So you have to go kind of in the middle and take the value in the middle. Average of two middle values. So when we finish this group, we actually reach 76. When we finish this group, we reach 29. You know? So these two values are in this group. So therefore, this is the median group. So this is the median group. This is your median group. Median group. Median is in there. Median. Median class. The lower limit is 31 in that class. So this is the answer. This was about finding where the median is. This one says, how many children at most? How many children have a mass of at most 50? At most 50 means less than or equal to 50 kilograms. I want to know how many people measure this. Less than or equal to 50. So 50 years old, I go up to 50 now. Reach 100. See that? We're counting up 100 people to reach or finish this class, reach 100. This guys some of these, 100. So that says 100 right here. Let's say I got the 50, 100 people. This is where the 50 is. So the 50 ends. Next one. So this question now, a frequency distribution scores obtained by students in a test. So the modal score is the one that matches the highest frequency. So remember, these are the scores up here, X. These are your scores. And this is the number of students scoring. So this is the F. One that matches the highest frequency is the mode. So the highest frequency is this. So the 8 is the mode. Don't put 12 as a mode, Mode is not a frequency, it's a score that matches the highest frequency. So that says 8. Don't go put in 12. The mode is a score, not a frequency. Median is a score, mode is a score. Mean, mode, median are our scores, not frequency values. So the modal score is 8. This question says it refers to the diagram refers to the cumulative frequency curve, which shows the marks obtained by 200 students in a test. All right, it says the lower quartile mark of 200 students is what? So the lower quartile is 1/4. The position of the lower quartile, let's zoom it up. Position of Q1 is 1/4 of 200. And the data is group and an cumulative frequency. That is the 50th student. 50th student, that's the position of it. So I need to show 50. So look at the scale carefully. Careful scale now. So between here and here is 40. So right here is 20. Between here and here, 80. So right here is 60. We're looking for 50, So our median is right. Our Q1 is in between here. So that's where Q1 is. So between 40 and 50, between 40 and 60 is 50 right in here. Right on this line here. That's 50. That's the position of Q1. The lower quartile I want, right? Lower quartile, yes, lower quartile. So you come across on a graph then, right here, right in the middle here for 50. Bam, bang on. bang on this line, which means that this is your Q1, 30 marks. Here you go, 30 marks, 42. All right, next question down here. We're gonna do this is one paper today. We're gonna have a session. We're gonna do like just all sets only. Another day we're just doing cumulative frequency. We're just doing consumer arithmetic. Another day we're just doing measurements. So looking at all the various ways they set each topic for multiple choice. I'm gonna binge them. All right. So prepare yourselves for that. So this one, the item refers to the following bar chart, which shows the ages of children who took part in a survey. You have to be careful when reading these bar charts, right? All diagrams, actually. So these are the ages, and this represents the number of children. So what this means, for example, is that there are 3 children, age 4. There are 4 children, age 5. There were 5 children up here, age 7. So if you read it carefully. All right, it says, a child is selected at random. What is the probability that a child is more than 4 years old? So this is a 4-year-old column. So all of these more than 4. So we need to know the total number of children up here. We need to know the total number of children overall. And we'll put in these over the total. So we have to go do some adding. All right. So let's put in the number of children and see if we can figure that out. So we have 3 here. We have 4 here. We have 2 here. We have 5 up here. And we have 1 down here. So let's add up to now. So this and that make 10, and then 2 here make 15. So total is 15 children, 15 students are children, 15. That's the total number of children, 15. 15 total children. And then the ones who get more than 4 years old are these over here, so. Because these are 4 now. So more than 4 of this. So the probability of getting more than 4, we're gonna get these, which is this is 12, right? That is 9 and 3, 12. That's 12 children. 12 children get more than 4. So the probability is 12 over 15. This becomes equal to 12 out of the 15. That is not there. We can simplify this down. Divide this by 3 and divide this by 3. So we get 4 over 5, which is right here. That is it. That is it. All right. Next question. This one says 600 students sit an exam. The probability of a randomly selected student passing the exam is 4/5. Passing is 4/5, you know. So it means a fail is 1/5. That's just 4/5 of the total. So the rest of them fail, which is 1/5. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. The sneeze, I couldn't hold it. Oh, that's for that. How many students failed? 1/5 of the total failed. So 1/5 failed. 1/5 times 600. That's 120, you know. 120. Yep. 5 into 60 goes 12 times. 120. 120 failed right here. Yep, that is it. 1/5 failed. 4/5 pass, 1/5 failed. That's it. Next question. Which of the following functions is the equation of a straight line? One that can be written in the form y equals mx plus c. One that can be written in the form y equals mx plus c is the equation of a straight line. This one. That is it. Next one says the point where a line crosses the vertical axis. The vertical axis is the y-axis. It's called a y-axis intercept. So one question can write down the answers. Yeah, that's what happens. sometimes in the latter part of the exam paper, just marking answers, no calculation needed. This is the functions part now, we know in functions. This part says, it refers to the following arrow diagram. It says the arrow diagram above describes the relation. Let's look at it. How are they related? Y less than X, that is not true. The Y value is over here more than that. So that is absolutely not true. The X and that. X is a factor of Y. These X values are factors of the Y, but we have to show the mapping. So 2 is a factor of 8, is also a factor of 10. That is true. 3 is a factor of only 9 over here, so which is true. 4 is a factor of only 8. So that is the answer, factor. The X value is a factor of the Y values. Y is a factor of X? No, that's not true. These are over here are not factors. These are multiples. And then X is a multiple of Y. No, these X's are smaller than these. They are factors. And that is basically it. So the answer is B. All right. This is the paper that I set in January, guys. Last exam that I set. So yours will be very similar to this. In terms of setup, and maybe some of the questions also repeated. All right, so you have to understand how they are done. This question says, what is the y-intercept of this line? So remember, you get the y-intercept when the equation is in the form y equals mx plus c. The important thing is that you must have y alone as a subject. Right now we have a 2y there. So we're going to have to divide by the 2. All right, we're going to have to divide that by 2. We're going to say it's going to become negative 4. If we divide this by 2, then it becomes y equals minus 3 over 2x minus 4. So this is the answer right here. The y-intercept is at 4. Now, if I ask for the gradient, it would be this, negative 3 over 2. All right, so the answer here is 4 minus 4. All right, next question says, h of x is this, you still on function, the one h of 4. So it's a matter of putting 4 on this. So it becomes 3 times 4 minus 2 divided by 5. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. This becomes 10 over 5. 10 over 5 is 2. This is it. Easy stuff. This one says, what is the value of f to the minus 1 of 1 if f of x is equal to this? So this is really f of x now. This is f of x equals that. So like we have f equals 5 minus 2x. I want to forget the inverse function. I want to do f to the minus 1 of 1. That's not the only way to do it, but this is good enough. So that the x then becomes 5 minus 2 times f to the minus 1. So we can make f to the minus 1 a subject, transpose this 5, and then divide on the negative 4. So f to the minus 1 becomes x negative divided by negative 2 minus 5 over negative 2. So we want f to the minus 1 of 1 now, means we're putting 1 here. So let's do the part there in red. So we can say f to the minus 1 of 1 means that we're putting 1 for the x here. So it becomes 1 minus 5 over negative 2. That's a negative 4. That is a negative 4. Negative 4. Negative 4 over negative 2 is 2. Negative 4 over negative 2 becomes a positive 2. So the answer here is 2. This is the answer. Put it in red. All right. This is it. Let me take this off. Down here says the values of x are the points where this intersect the x-axis r. So on the x-axis, on the x-axis, the y is equal to 0. So it means you put in this equal to 0, because that is the y, right? So it means then that 4x minus x squared is equal to 0. Factorize the x, you're going to x into 4 minus x equals 0. So if this equal to 0, this factor. If that factor equals 0, you're getting x equals 0 from it. X equals 0. And if this equal a factor, you're going to get transposing minus x and get positive x equals 4. So you're looking for those values, 0 and 4. 0 and 4, which is right here. 0 and 4. All right, next question. Coming to the end shortly. So today was just a short session. All right, we're gonna have some session. We're gonna do a lot more. I promise you. All right, so get yourselves ready. This question says the line L is perpendicular to this line. What is the gradient of the other line? So the gradient of the second line, let's call it line 2, is minus 1 over the gradient of L. Gradient of L is this. So how do we do this calculation? Flip this and change the sign. Right? The gradient of L is this, you know. So you could take this and put it on here if you want. But the quick way to do this calculation is to flip the one that you have and change the sign. So how do I say it? How do I write it? It becomes, we have the 2 over 5, flip and change becomes minus 5 over 2. All right, so I'm gonna write that, flip and change the sign. Flip and change the sign in positive or negative. So then says minus 4 over 2. That's how we go from one gradient to another gradient at our perpendicular. Flip the one that you have and change sign. That's what this calculation does in a quick, short way. Minus 5 over 2. This is it. All right. So that is that. So take the one that we have, flip it and change sign to get the other one when they are perpendicular. Then we come to transformation now. So I see which transformation now. This one says it refers to this diagram. It says in the diagram, the translation is a translation, right? Translation by which AB is mapped onto A prime, B prime is what? How do we go from this to this? Remember, translation is a movement thing, right? So I don't know which one of these it is. So we need to look how the X move and how the Y move. So from this X value to this X value is an increase of 4 now. So you go across 4. And then from 5 to 6, you go up 1. Up 1. That's what it is, you know. 2, 1. 2, 1. Zoom, finish this. Yeah, 2, 1. All right. So 2 to the right, 1 up. So the matrix is 2, 1. All right. So that's what it's going to look for. 2, 1 right here. That maps AB to A prime, B prime. Number 54. Questions usually get easier around here. So give us those, and they give us these two parallel lines. And this is a transversal line that crosses them. And they ask us what's the relationship, you see? What's the relationship between P and Q? But on that, they're in the Z, see? They are in the Z. They're angles in the Z. They're alternate angles in the Z. So they are equal. So that's the first one. Alternate angles are equal. They are angles in the Z. This angle equals that with a different color. Angles in the Z. Alternate angles are equal. All right, that's 54. Number 55 says, a ship sailed 8 kilometers due east from A to B. So due east means towards the east. Remember, due east means towards the east. And our coordinate system set up this way. You spell we across here. Always remember that. And then this is the north and down here is south. So if you go due east, means you go towards the east from A to B. So this one will be okay. No, because this is 6. You say go 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. So this one is not wrong. This one is wrong already because this is only 6. That one is wrong. This one is wrong. This one is go east, yes. So that one could be correct. This one could be correct as well. This one could be correct. But look, let's see what it says next. So you go 8 kilometers east. It then says 6 kilometers due north. Due north means towards the north. So this due north means towards the north to C. So A to B is this way. And it is 8 kilometers. But B to C is towards the north. And it is 6 kilometers. But this point and this point is the same. So you basically going so and so. That's what you're looking for. 6 up here, 8 down here. A here so, B here so, C there so. That's what you're looking for. This is it. 8 to the right and then 6 up. That's it. Number 56 says, in a polygon, angle A is X, and angle A and angle B are supplementary. Supplementary means that they add to 180 degrees. Angle A is X, and angle A and B add to 180 degrees. Question says, what is the size of angle B? Has to be 180 degrees minus the X. See it here, so. This means that A plus B, angle A plus angle B is 180. You know, that's what this statement means. You know. A plus B is 180 degrees. If you're talking like it as angles. So if you want to find the B, you have to subtract the angle for A, and the angle for A is X. That is the answer here. 180 minus. Next question says, refers to this diagram. It shows the line y equals X. And it says, if the line y equals X is rotated anticlockwise, meaning so, anticlockwise, about the origin, that is the origin here, and it rotates to 90 degrees only, then the image is what? Or which one of these lines is the image? All right, so if you take that line and you rotate it 90 degrees this way, it's basically going to go like so. Remember, we're rotating about the origin, and the angle that we're rotated through is 90 degrees. Well, this line is actually the line y equals minus x, because it have points where the x and the y values are the same but opposite signs. For example, minus 5, 5. Or you can say 5 minus 5. All right, so that is y equals minus x. That is it. That's the answer. Or the first one right here. Number 58, coming to an end, a quick end. I would suggest that you guys want to work over the paper by yourself. Make sure you get all the questions correct. Work it over again by yourself. Get all the questions correct. All right. This one says, number 58 says, it refers to the following diagram, which shows a triangle within a circle. It says, in the triangle, LM and MN are equal. The center of a circle is O. So if this is the center of a circle, let's look at it. That is the center of a circle. Then this is a diameter. Diameter subtends 90 degrees at the circumference. So it means that right here is a 90-degree angle. And because it is isosceles, it means that these two angles are the same. So this is also alpha. And they must add to 90, because if this angle up here is already 90 degrees, right, then these two must add to 90. So then each of them is 45. Right, so 2 alpha plus alpha is 90. I can say 2 alpha is 90 degrees. So alpha then is 45 degrees. Right here. 2 to go. Next question says, I've seen this question multiple times. This question says, the item refers to the following diagram. It shows angle of depression of x from z is 35 degrees. The angle of depression up here is 35 degrees. Angle looking down. The angle looking down is that 35 degrees. So you can apply that the angle looking up from the other end is also 35. We can use the z angle. So this angle inside here is also 35 degrees. So the question says, if y is 12 meters, that's right here, from z, over there is 12. Then the base xy, that's right here, in meters is which one of these? So like we're trying to find this side. Let's just call it x, trying to find x. Trying to find this side. So we're going to use the 35, then this is the opposite and this is adjacent. So we can set up the equation. So this is the calculation for this one over here. Can basically say then the tan of the 35 degrees is equal to the opposite side, which is 12, over the adjacent side, which we want, which is x. Opposite over adjacent. So to find the x, we're going to multiply by x and divide another tan 35. So we're going to get x equals 12 over the tan of 35 degrees. But guess what? This is not there. I might say, wow, it's not there. Nope, that's not the problem. The problem is that they have an answer with a 55 degrees in it. That's his answer, Because instead of working it with this tan of 35, they decided to work with the angle up here. So this answer is still correct, it's just not the answer they're looking for. So if we give an answer we are looking for with a 55. So if this is 35 and this is 90, these two must add up to 90. So this angle up here is 55 degrees. And so we're working from this angle now. So the calculation in here. So this is if we're doing it this way. And so we're going to work with the 55 now. So this becomes now the opposite to the 55. And this is now the adjacent. So in that case, the tan of the 55 degrees will be equal to the x over the 12. The opposite, this will become the opposite, and this will become the adjacent. All right. And then to make x a subject, we just have to take this 12 and multiply it up here. So we would get 12 tan of 55 degrees equals the x. And that is there. That answer is there. Put it in red right here. So remember, trigs a lot of the times can be done multiple ways, right? So maybe in another exam, this might be the answer there. On another paper. This paper, they have it in this format. Another paper might give the same diagram, guys, and this is the answer. All right, so you can't go swatting answers. You have to know how to do the question. All right, then we'll come to the last question for today, the last one, number 60. Just doing one paper today, just keeping you guys warm. I know you have other exams. Let's do one paper. You can go on the other exams. Once I clear those paper twos, we're gonna binge on the paper ones. I want to have about 5 consecutive days of a lot of work. All right, a lot of work we're gonna be doing. This question gives us this triangle. It's a right angle triangle. So it means that this is a hypotenuse to this angle. Well, we have two angles, right? So all we know that is the hypotenuse. If we're working from this angle, then that is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. But if we're working from this angle, then this becomes the opposite, while this becomes the adjacent. All right, but let's answer the question. It says, which trig ratio is 4 over 5? 4 over 5. So if we're going from the x, then the sine x is going to be 4 over 5, you know? Because sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. That's 4 over, not 4 over 5, 4 over 8. Man, I'm really tired today. 4 over 8. And if we're working from this angle, then this side will be adjacent. It's going to be cos of y. That's adjacent, which is same 4 over 8. 4 over 8. Which one of them is there? This one is there. This one is there. The sine one is there. So that is the answer. And remember, another exam might be the answer, cos of y. Same diagram, same everything, but the answer might be the cos of y on another exam. So don't go swatting answer. You have to understand what it is. All right, guys. Just went through that paper for you. Give it like a pep up on the top on the multiple choice. This is January 2024. Last exam that was set just the other day, so it's a good one to gauge our levels off. All right, so you have it in the group. I'll share the video with you in case you need to look back at it, but I'd advise you to read the questions, especially any of them that you're not so certain about. All right, so this was like a monologue session. I didn't hear anybody saying anything, well, that's fine. We'll catch up. All right, everybody. You guys okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right, then. All right, I'm going to end it now, so we'll talk. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
All right. All right, cool. Ending the session. People online can